Now have a look at the first question. It is of trigonometry and it talks about a shadow of a vertical tower. I hope you have read the question. This is question number 1. Let's see what is there in this question. It says that the shadow of the vertical tower increases by 10 meters when the altitude of the sun changes from 45 degree to 30 degree. So let us draw a figure. I'm sorry if I'm not drawing it very much to the scale. Okay, now it says that the altitude of the sun changes from 45 degree to 30 degree. So here we can say that the altitude is 45 degree and here we can say that the altitude is 30 degree. This is a tower, suppose, whose height is h. Now it is being said that when the altitude changes from this 45 degree to this 30 degree, the length of the shadow increases by 10 meters. So what was the length of the shadow when the angle was 45 degree? It was this. And after this 45 change to this 35, the length increased by 10 meters. That means 10 meters is this much. So we have to find the height of the tower. That is, we have to calculate this h. So for calculating this h, we need to take some formulas. This is 45. Okay. So we'll write here is tan 45. And we know that tan 45 is equals to perpendicular by base. So we suppose that what is this distance here? So tan 45 is equals to 1 and this is perpendicular by base. So therefore h, and suppose this is x. So it will be h by x. So it will make something like this. H is equals to x. That is, x is also equals to h. Now coming out of this angle 30 degree, we will write it tan 30 degree is equals to height h upon this 10 meters plus this h. So we will write it as 10 plus h. This tan 30. Tan 30 is equals to 1 by root 3. What we have to find out? We have to calculate the height of the tower. So it is very easy. We are going to solve this equation, cross multiply it. It will become root 3 h is equals to 10 plus h. So take this h this side. So it will become 3 root 3h minus h is equals to 10. Take h common. It will be root 3 minus 1 is equals to 10. H will be equals to 10 upon root 3 minus 1. This is our answer. Now we need to change this answer to a much more convenient form. So in order to change this 10 upon root 3 minus 1 to a much more convenient form, I am going to multiply this third root 3 plus 1 upside and root 3 plus 1 downside. We know that root 3 plus 1 upon root 3 plus 1, it will cancel out and become as 1. So it doesn't make the whole difference to this 10 upon root 3 minus 1 by multiplying it with root 3 plus 1 in the numerator and the denominator. Now solving it. Upside it will become 10 of root 3 plus 1 and downside it will become 3 minus 1, the simple formula. So it will be something like this, 10 of root 3 plus 1 upon 3 minus 1, 2. It becomes as 5 of root 3 plus 1. And this is your answer. So your answer is 5 of root 3 plus 1. So this is the solution of first question. Now we will move on to next question. You can ask your doubts in the comment section. Now the next question is something like this. 5 of tan x is equals to 4. 5 of tan x is equals to 4. This is the question and we have to find out the value of 5 tan x minus 3 tan x upon 5 tan x plus 2 cos x. 5 tan x, 5 sin x minus 3 cos x upon 5 sin x plus 2 cos x. This value we have to find out. 5 tan x is equals to 4 is given to us. So we are going to solve this equation. Tan x will be 4 by 5. Now the principles of trigonometry are applied in 90-degree angles. So here we are going to draw a 90-degree triangle. This is 90 degree, and suppose this is angle x. So this tan x is equals to 4 by 5, and we know that the tan x is equals to perpendicular upon base. So this is 4 and this becomes 5. Okay. Now if this is 4 and this becomes 5, then what will be this side? This side will be something like this: 25 plus 16 under root of 41. This is the side. Now here two variables are involved: 5 sin theta minus 3 cos theta upon 5 sin theta plus 2 cos theta, or you can say 5 sin x minus 3 cos x upon 5 sin x plus 2 cos x. Theta and x are basically the same thing. Theta is also denoting angle and x is also denoting an angle. Now what is the easiest way of solving this sum? The easiest way of solving is, first you calculate this sin x. What will be the sin x? Perpendicular by hypotenuse, so it will become 4 by root 41. And then you calculate cos x. When you will calculate cos x, you will get it as base by hypotenuse. You just remember that formula, Pandit Badri Prasad Har Har Bole. So it will become 5 by under root of 41. And now you put these two values, 4 by under root of 41 and 5 upon under root of 41, in 5 sin x minus 3 cos x upon 5 sin x plus 2 cos x. But there is a much more easier method. The easier method is that from the numerator and from the denominator you take cos x common. So when you will take cos x common from the numerator and the denominator, it will be something like this: 5 of sin x upon cos x minus 1 and 5 of sin x upon cos x, this is 3, sorry, plus 2. This will happen, and the point is that these two get cancelled and it will become sin x upon cos x is tan x, so it will become 5 tan x minus 3 upon 5 tan x plus 2. This we get. What is the value of tan x? This is 4 by 5. So we are going to put this 4 by 5 in place of this tan x minus 3 upon 5 into 4 by 5 plus 2. This 5 will cancel out, up we will get 1 and down we will get 6. So our answer will be 1 by 6. This is the easiest way of doing, and you can also put sin x is equals to 4 upon under root of 41 and cos x is equals to 5 upon under root of 41. This way the question will become a bit longer, but it will be solved in that way also. And in the exam we have to think of ways that are our fastest, so this is the best method. Now we should come to our next question, question number 3. The sides of a triangle are 16 centimeter, 12 and 20 centimeter. Now we have to find out the area of this triangle. Now there is a shortcut and there is a long method of solving this question. Here is our area of a triangle. The area is denoted by something like this: under root of s, s minus a, s minus b, s minus c. This is the long method we are discussing. Okay, s minus a, s minus. What is s? S is the semi-perimeter. Semi-perimeter, which is equals to 16 plus 12 plus 20 divided by 2. 16 plus 12 plus 20 divided by 2. What is this? This is 24. Now placing this 24 in this, and this A, B and C are the respective sides of the triangle. So when we are putting this in the main equation, it will become 24. Then 24 minus 16 will become 8. Then 24 minus 12 will become 12, and then 24 minus 20 will become 4. We are going to solve this. Okay. Now there is a very simple method of solving. In this 24, you can write it this something like this. 24 you can write as 12 into 2. This 12 we are writing here. This is 8 and this is 4. This 12 and 12 two times, so we can write it once outside. And this 4 into 2, 8, and this 8 is two times, so we can write 8. So what comes out outside? 96. 96 our answer. 96 is the area of the triangle. So this is the simple application of this method. The usage of the formula under root of s into s minus a into s minus b into s minus c. S is the semi-perimeter and a, b, c are the respective length of that particular triangle. This is the long method. Now we are going to discuss the much easier, shorter method. In my classes, when I teach, I tell you about triangular triplets or Pythagorean triplets. That means those three values which will form the length of the respective sides when the triangle is a 90-degree triangle. So by solving this question by that method, just remember one triangular Pythagorean triplet, that is 3, 4, 5. So let us draw a triangle, a right angle triangle, a small one. Suppose this is 3, this is 4, and this becomes 5 when this is 90 degree. So this becomes a Pythagorean triplet. Now it is a simple property of a triangle. If these three are the three sides of a triangle, multiply all the three by any value. Suppose you multiply all the three by 2. So it will become 6, 8 and 10. Then 6, 8 and 10 will also be the three sides of a right angle triangle. You can check it. 10 square is equals to 100, 8 square is equals to 64, 6 is equals to 36. So this 6 square plus 8 square will be equals to 10 square. So this will also be a Pythagorean triplet. If you are going to multiply 3, 4 and 5 with 3 each, then we will get 9, 12, 15. This is also going to be a Pythagorean triplet. You can check it. Similarly, if you are going to multiply this 3, 4 and 5 with 4, you are going 12, 16, 20. This is also going to be a Pythagorean triplet. So 12, 16, 20 is also a Pythagorean triplet. That this 12, 16 and 20 represents the length of sides of a right angle triangle. So we are going to draw it this way: 20, 12, 16. Now this is 90 degree. So if we have to going to find out the area of this triangle, we know that the area of a triangle is 1 upon 2 base into height of a right angle triangle. So this is a right angle triangle. So 1 upon 2 into 16 into 12. The answer will be 96. The same as before. And by using this shorter method, if we are very much well versed with our concepts, then by using this shorter method, we can solve this question orally. We don't even need to write anything on our paper. While when we are solving in this method, the longer method, it will take us some time. When you will initially start preparing these things, you have to use the long method, because this method you will be get versed when you are very much in practice. Then you will able to see that this 16, 12 and 20 represents the sides of a right angle triangle. So this all comes by practice. All of those things, when I will take up my video lectures individually, I will discuss in them. Next question. It is basically a relation between cylinder and sphere. Now, first we are going to write, I am going to write the volume of a cylinder. What it is? It is pi r square h, where r is the radius and h is the height. And it is also talking about sphere. So the volume of sphere is by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Simple. These are the two formulas. Now the question says that we have to calculate the height of the cylinder, and the same condition is given to us. Same volume of the cylinder and the sphere. Now it is being said that the volume of the cylinder and sphere are same. So first of all, what we are going to write? We are going to write pi square h is equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is the first thing we are going to write. Pi r square is equals to pi r square h is equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now the very second condition that has been given in this. It has been given that the radius of both of the cylinders and sphere are equal. That is, this r is equals to this r. That is why I didn't mention it as r1 and this as r2, because in the question it has been given, you can read the question, that this 2, the radius of the cylinder and the radius of the sphere are equal. What we have to calculate? We have to calculate what is the height of the cylinder. And one more information is given to us, that the diameter of the sphere is 12 centimeter. Sphere 12 centimeter. So if diameter is 12 centimeter, then radius will be 6 centimeter. So now we are going to solve this thing. This pi will cancel out, and we are going to write 6 in place of this r, so it will become 6 square h. Here it will become 4 by 3 into 6 to the whole power cube. H will come out as this 6 square, and 6 square will cancel out, and here it will become 4 by 3 into 6. So the answer will come out as 8. What is the answer? 8. So we can say that the height of the cylinder is 8 centimeter. It is as simple as that.